So here's the deal. 10-3 is, we're not. 10-3 is circles, okay? If you took geometry from me, I've taught you how to do pretty much all of this already. So if you didn't take geometry from me, I don't know if you learned it. Well, if you took it from Chung, you learned it too. But if you were at a different school, I'm not sure if you learned this yet, but I think you'll see it's very manageable. Yes. I think I made it due the Monday after break. Like the Monday that we get back from break, 8:15 that morning. So you have the whole week if you want it. I don't know. I was debating what would people prefer. Like, do you want me just to make it due tonight at midnight so you have to get it done? And no? I figured if you want to get it done, get it done. If you don't, you have the whole week. Okay, here we go. There are two equations for a circle. They're really the same equation, but it's just nice to have a simpler version. So if the circle has a center at 0, 0, it's x squared plus y squared equals r squared. What does r stand for? The radius. It's right here, right? So that's probably the nicest looking version of a circle that you could have. Nothing fancy about it. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. Your center is 0, 0. Your radius is r. So here's your center. Here's your radius. Remember, a radius is a radius no matter where you put it. So all of these have a length of r, right? If it's not centered at 0, 0, like you see here, if the center is hk, then it's this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared, okay? And like I said, you did this in geometry. You have seen this. You know what to do with this, right? We've been there. We've done that. I believe in you. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to graph both types of equations. So when it's x squared plus y squared equals 9, what's your center? 0, 0, right? Your center is 0, 0 if there's nothing behind the x and nothing behind the y. So go ahead and plot a center. Okay, that's the center of our circle. When it's equal to 9, what is your radius? Remember, it's x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So r is 3, right? We're saying r squared is 9. So take the square root of that. That means our radius is actually 3. Okay, so here's what I want from you. When you plot a circle, on your homework, you're going to have Notability and it's going to make circles for you, which maybe isn't the best thing because these graphs are maybe not perfectly drawn. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. But what I want from you is I want 4 points on the circle. I want straight up, 1, 2, 3, to the right, 1, 2, 3, down, 1, 2, 3, and to the left, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need to see those, and I need to see the circle, but you're gonna freehand it. Now, if you do it in Notability and make the nice circle, that's great too. But I need to see those points on like a quiz or a test. Ooh. And then just a free-handed circle is great. Okay? All right. Look at the next one. Now, you got to stop and think about this a little bit. It's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So your center, which we said is hk, what is your center right now? 2, -5. And that's where people always make the mistake. It's opposite of what it looks like. It looks like it's a -2, but the formula is x minus your h value. God bless. So this is actually a +2 and a -5, right? This is basically saying y minus a -5 squared would be y plus 5. Okay, so it's opposite of what it looks like every single time. What is your radius? The radius would be 6. If r squared is 36, take the square root, so your radius is 6. Okay? And here's where your graph is not going to be beautiful because I shrunk the thing down and it condensed too much. So with a center of 2, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be our center. With a radius of 6, you're moving up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the right 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to the left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Freehand that circle, it really isn't going to look like a circle, but pretend I shrunk down my graph a little too much. And that's what you get. So I need to see those 5 points, the 4 that are on the circle and your center. Okay? The rest of it can be freehand. Questions on that? Moving right along. All right. Example 3, it says write the equation of the circle. Your center is -4, 7, and your radius is 4. So again, you have this equation of a circle. I'm just going to take a quick copy of it. Oops, just moved my circle too. The circle doesn't want to get out of there. Shoot, it won't let me move it back. Okay. So if this is our setup and we're going to write the equation of the circle, it's going to be x and y have to stay put. Okay, so don't replace your x and your y. You want to replace your h, your k, and your r. What is it going to be? X what? Plus 4. It's minus a -4, right? Which is plus a +4. So it's x plus 4 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals what? 16. It's your radius squared, so equals 16. So x plus 4 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 16. This is the equation of your circle. All right, example 4 here. It says given the equation x squared plus y squared equals 9, we're going to translate it. Another word for translate? Anybody? Remember geometry? Translations? What did you do? You slid, right? It's a slide. A translation is just a slide. So we're going to slide this graph, this circle, 4 units to the left and 3 units up. So if I go 4 to the left, what number is that? -4, 4 to the left, and then 3 up would be up 3. Where were we starting from this graph? 0, 0, right? So right now it's centered at 0, 0, and I'm going 4 to the left and 3 up. So I am at the point -4, 3, right? That's going to be your new center. That's going to be your H and K. What about the 9? What happens there? If I take a circle and I slide it, did my radius change? No. So the 9's going to stay put, okay? Your radius would be what? 3, right? But that doesn't matter. We're just going to leave it as 9. So it's going to be x plus 4 minus a -4 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals our same radius squared because we just slid it over. We didn't change the size of the circle. We just slid it. We translated it to a new place. Questions on that? Okay. Then it says to write the equation of the circle. What do you need to be able to write an equation of a circle? 2 things. You need HK, you need the center. What else do you need? The radius. Okay, so my center right now, this point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The center is -4, -5. What's your radius? It would be 4, right? Just pick a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have a radius of 4. So now that you have center and radius, now you just drop it into the equation, okay? So it's going to be x what? Plus or minus? Plus 4, right? This would be your h value. This is your k value. X plus 4 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 16, the radius squared. Is it coming back? Do you remember this? Hopefully. Okay, 2 more, and then we're done. Graph, yeah. Which ones you need to what? No, you just need to know that this is h, k, and r squared. So I need the center, hk, and I need the radius, right? So it won't necessarily say find the center and radius. It'll just say write the equation of the circle. Okay, this one. What is your center here? It's not 0, 0. It is 0, right? The x is 0. A positive 3. Okay, it looks like a -3. It's always opposite of what it looks like. So 0, 3 is your center. What's your radius? 7, right? This is r squared. So you take the square root of that. So your radius is 7. Okay, so if we're going to graph that, you put a point at 0, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then what? 7 in every direction. 7 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you plot those points, and then you just freehand. Ooh, it's not my best work. It's really not my best. But just freehand your circle, okay? Just don't make it a square. A lot of times people draw it like this. It's not a square. It's a circle, right? Round those edges a little bit at least. Okay, number 7, the last one, is probably the one that requires the most work, but it's still not hard. It's still very doable. It says write the equation of a circle with a center at 2, -3 that passes through the point 5, -1. So here's the deal. Your center is hk. You're going to call the point that they give you x and y. Okay, we know nothing about the radius. Now, you could plot that on a graph and find your radius that way. It's going to be a lot more work, and I'm not going to give you a graph to do it with. So the better way to do it is consider your equation, x minus h squared. You don't need to write this right now. I'm just writing it to show you what I'm referencing, right? Here's the equation of a circle. If I were you, I would start with your answer, okay? I would make my answer x minus my h value squared plus y minus my k value, so y plus 3 squared equals my radius squared. This is my answer. What am I missing? R squared, right? So here's what you do. X is going to drop in here. Y is going to drop in here, and then you'll have your R squared. So I'm going to drop them in up here just to keep it out of the way. So 5 minus 2 squared plus -1 plus 3 squared equals R squared. Now simplify that. 5 minus 2 is 3 squared. -1 plus 3 is 2 squared. equals r squared. So 9 plus 4 is 13. Do you need to square root that? No, because in the answer, it is r squared, right? R squared is what goes here. So don't square root that, because you're going to square root it, and then you're going to go, oh, wait, I need r squared. And then you're going to square it again. And when you square root 13, you get a funky decimal. And when you square that funky decimal, you don't get 13 back, okay? So don't square root this. Just leave it like that and drop your 13 in, okay? So drop your x in for x, your h in for h, your y in for y, your k in for k, solve for r squared, and then you can put it back in. Let me just tell you what I see done wrong a lot on this problem. A lot of times, people don't take out the 5 and the -1 and put the x and y back in. You must have an x and y in your formula, okay? So when you write your final answer, make sure there's an x and make sure there's a y. Everything else should have a number in its place. Any questions on that? Killed it.